Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Neo Reality Collective issue 10, issue 11 of the 20 of September 24th. Uh, Man, big chunk of news happened the last day, in the last late part of the day, and after today, and oh boy, tons and tons of news. So, the Tokyo Game Show also was going on, and Xbox is having some things. The Snyder Cut just got more updates. AEW and NXT are having a crisis on their hands, and yeah, tons of wrestling news, gaming news, comic news, all that sort of stuff. So, as Microsoft has addressed the whole concern with with the rising game storage need, and even though they're have announced that while there are concerns with the whole dwindling of space, because the Xbox Series X is 1 terabyte, and the Xbox Series S is 512 gigabytes. It was decided, Microsoft announced that there would be a special expansion card up to 1 terabyte, and I saw the images of it and I was like, it's that small? Like, it's no bigger than an SD card, and like I saw this and I was thinking, man, we are really that crazy with technology. Like, it's that terabyte of data could hold a whole chunk of games, save data, and DLC, and it's just that small. It's no bigger than than a than an SD card, and I was thinking, man, like that will really help. It's coming out. It's going to cost $220 in total, especially if you add taxes. So this SSD drive thing is going to really help gamers with the files and everything. There, from what the details were showing in the images, it looks like only one slot. We're at one slot for it. So if you wanted to like make multiple slots, that probably is not going to happen. Though it would help a lot if you could get a second one and put it in there to add to a second space. That could really help. But on the Xbox One, when I used it, I tried to see if I could fit 2 hard drives in there. That didn't work. It said it only recognizes one at a time. So, Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield are set to mark Bethesda's latest engine overhaul since Oblivion, which means the creation engine meant nothing. So after the big acquisition, Todd Howard issued a public statement about the big event, where it's going to have, let's see, with each new console cycle, we evolve together, from bringing mods to consoles with Fallout 4, now over 1 billion downloads, to the latest technologies fueling Xbox Series X and S. These new systems are optimized for the vast worlds we love to create, with generational leaps not just in graphics but CPU and data streaming as well. It's led to our largest engine overhaul since Oblivion, and with all new technologies powering our first IP in 25 years, Starfield as well as Elder Scrolls 6. So, I was thinking, like, wait, so does that mean that whereas the Gamebryo engine afterwards, after New Vegas ended its era, and then it went to the Creation engine, so that means that the Creation engine was not, it's not a large overhaul? Yeah. So, yeah, the continuing saga of this game is very, very detailing and everything, and I'm curious to know where they're going to go with this file, and seeing how well this whole thing is going to work out for fans. But let's hope that this new engine is more powerful than ever and holds more details, and man, it's just insane all around. So as it goes on, Halo Infinite, meanwhile, has made some news. There were some reports coming out that they were saying that there was going to come out on holiday 2021, which would have sucked. However, Halo Infinite's developer team of the Halo community director has spoken up to shut down the rumors about this release date, saying in a tweet, "PS public service announcement: we haven't locked on a release date for Halo Infinite yet. Anything you see on retail sites is just placeholder or speculation," which is a lot of games. Like, a lot of games, when they go past the 2020, they would go to the end of the year 2021 when there's no confirmation release date. So yeah, it's understandable why some people get that confused, but GameFly does it when they want to reveal the game, but yeah, thank God it's not going to come out next year in the winter, because a year after waiting, it would mean like something big happened, but so far nothing big has happened other than just this delay. And I'm curious to know where they take this thing. But man, I'm excited for Halo Infinite. I really want to play it. 10 years worth of Halo. 2020 ideally was originally the plan to 2030. Man, let's just hope Master Chief Collection is ported over to the Xbox Series X, because I want it. So, Life is Strange's developer Dotnod has announced that they have opened a new studio to work on a brand new intellectual property. So, in collaboration with Investment Quebec, Montreal International assisted Dotnod in opening its new studio. Montreal is recognized as one of the 5 largest video game production centers in the world. Montreal International President and CEO, I'm not going to pronounce their name. We are convinced that the creativity of Montreal talent combined with that of Dotnod will result in remarkable projects. So, this is part of this next big stage for this new Montreal-based studio to work on this new IP. Curious to know what it is. Like, they already have like Tell Me Why and Life is Strange. Curious to know if what this new IP is. But like I said, they've done some pretty good games in the adventure genre and tried to try some new things. But man, it's gonna be a little odd. They did say it's an unannounced narrative-driven game, so it's probably like Life is Strange and Tell Me Why, but a different style and everything, trying to fill that void of Telltale Games being gone and then coming back as a new company, and etc, etc, etc. So, Batman 100 spoilers from Bleeding Cool. So, it seems like Harvey Bullock is going to no longer be the commissioner of Gotham, because during around this time, Gordon was possessed by the Batman Who Laughs and all that nonsense, and now there's no addressing of what the heck happened. But yeah, it does seem to appears that he and the rest of the GCPD are ordered to close down. Barbara Gordon, who's using the GCPD bandwidth to organize the Bat family to fight the Joker clowns as part of the Joker War, and who seems to be putting on the role of Oracle again, despite not being, what happened to her in Killing Joke. So, yeah, it seems like this is the end of Gordon's time, because of Harvey Bullock's time. I don't know if Gordon's coming back to GCPD territory, but it was said that Bullock did take over. When he took over GCPD, he had a more aggressive relationship with Batman than Gordon did, and put the Bat Signal into storage. So, yeah, there was a lot of issues between the various parties. Also, DC Comics is to have Lucius Fox almost be shot by Gotham police. I am not digging into that. So, Final Fantasy 16. We all heard about this game being big in this big event we're trying to get into, and we're expecting it to be made for a long, long time. Won't be released for a long, long time. Well, Square Enix says this reportedly coming sooner than people think, as reportedly working on the game for at least 4 years. So that's according to industry journalist Jason Schreier, who had said this, talking to Triple Click podcast. I've heard from people who are familiar with the game's development that it's actually been in development for at least 4 years in some capacity. So it's coming sooner than people think. So yeah, everyone could think like after Final Fantasy 15 took like over 9 years to be worked on. To hear it might come sooner than people think. Maybe not 9 years, maybe 3 or 4. So half that. Sadly, it's a PS5 exclusive for now. I don't know if it's coming to timed exclusivity, but Sony needs more developers more than ever now, because Bethesda got bought, and now it's a case-by-case basis other than the 2 deals they already had. But Steam is going to get something that hasn't been seen that hasn't happened yet. I'm surprised by this when I first heard this. So RuneScape and old school RuneScape are coming to Steam 20 years after it launched. Yeah, the retro version of Jack's long-standing MMORPG are coming to stream. Confirmed it today. A colloquially known as RuneScape 3 because it's the most modernized version of the game, will arrive October 14th. And old school RuneScape, which uses 2007's version of the game as a base, will come sometime in 2021. So, yeah, he's on a mission to bring RuneScape universe to more players globally, says CEO Phil Mansell. Following our game's arrival on mobile stores, we are now expanding the availability to the desktop version. Making them accessible to the Steam community is an important step in achieving this goal. We're excited to see RuneScape debut on Steam's October 14th and look forward to old school RuneScape arrival next year as we enable even more gamers to access and explore our rich and engaging living game worlds. So, yeah, RuneScape, I was surprised. I was a little surprised that they never did that. Like I thought maybe they had done it before, but turns out they didn't. So shocking about that. It's gonna be interesting though. RuneScape, I've never played RuneScape. I'm just reporting about this, talking about this, but I never played the RuneScape games. I tried, I think, once, but I just didn't click with it. So. Yeah, I'm just not into it, so I'm probably not going to do it. So, Star Wars Squadron progressions details include seasons, cosmetic unlocks, and no cash shop. So, EA has made it clear from the start that Star Wars Squadron will feature no microtransactions or paid DLC, and what's in the game launch is meant to be the majority of the experience. That doesn't mean it will be a one and done. A new post on the game's official site lays out the details of how you'll progress in the stuff you unlock. The two fundamental systems that will keep you playing, aside from enjoying on fly and shoot parts, hopefully are experience and glory. Experience is earned just about any kind of online play. If you reach level 40, you'll have accrued enough in-game currency to unlock every gameplay altering ship component. Glory is spent on cosmetics, unlock new paint jobs and a dangling stormtrooper helmet. You earn some based on your performance in each match, but the fastest way to bask in this glory, is by completing daily challenges and operation challenges. Both provide rotating objectives that will encourage you to vary your playstyle, which ships you use, and latter provide long-term goals to match Squadron 8-week competitive seasons. On top of unlocking cosmetic items with Glory, you'll be able to earn them directly by completing the single-player campaign, doing the tutorial for the competitive fleet battles mode, and by finishing certain challenges. It feels like it's been a hot minute since a big multiplayer game didn't enter and exit through the cash shop, so they're eager. So Games Radar is eager to see this, but yeah, I'm glad they're not doing microtransactions and they're not doing a quick get money out of this. And this is a budgeted game, not a hybrid AAA game. They're saying, so yeah, it's going to be fairly interesting, and I do kind of want to play it, but I have not been good at piloting ships. If you see some of my gameplay videos, so you'll probably see me fail miserably on there. So there was a joke lately that Raul Kula, I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, sorry, said this: I've gotten into that Lothal Orphan sword sensitive trained by carrying Jared's kind of shape for no particular reason. And then Games Radar posted saying, don't tour with us, man. Then he just says, oh, F, I was just goofing around. Where the F is my publicist? Please take over my social accounts. So, yeah, he was kidding, and that he's not Edger Bridger. So, yeah, man. So, yeah. Tragic. Ezra Bridger is not in season 2, probably. So that means Ahsoka and Sabine, who's also rumored to show up, will probably just be looking for him and passing by. But if he does show up, I'll be amazed. But, yeah. So there's a new update regarding the Xbox Microsoft Store for Xbox One owners, and it was updated and announced today that the extra fast Microsoft Store is now available for all Xbox One owners outside of China. So this is a revised digital store interface to members of the Xbox Insider program in August. It changes the look of the store with the aim of making it easier to navigate for newcomers to the platform. It is also meant to make the store perform more than twice as fast as it did before. This is the same store interface that will appear on the more powerful Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. We can look forward to some super fast storefront action in the next generation. So yeah, that was the original story, and now it's been updated and now available for all Xbox One owners outside of China. So curious to know what the storefront will be. I'm gonna check it out later, so we'll see, and I'll probably talk about it in the next episode. Probably, maybe not. So yeah, and Xbox Series X games were confirmed that it can be stored on a USB hard drive and be transferred to your solid state drive to play. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So this was part of the list of details they made, and it does say. So it says the USB 3.1 HDD drives stores any Xbox games. Yes. Plays Xbox One through original Xbox games. Yes. Plays games optimized for X and S. No, sadly. Replicate speed and performance of internal solid state drive. No, whereas Seagate does all of that. So yeah, it seems like they're trying to make Seagate the more dominant force, and they're trying to make the USB version look more like on the side. So it's like trying to be a compromise, but at the same time, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult. So we'll have to see where that goes, and I am hoping that I can get one, but we'll see if Amazon Prime Day changes things up. So update on the Batman Catwoman story. They said Tom King calls the upcoming maxi series Batman and Catwoman the culmination of his 2-year run on DC's Batman title, but also the beginning of something that he hopes breaks the barrier inside DC. This is the end I always wanted to write for Batman and Catwoman, the culmination not only what we did leading up to the wedding and afterwards, but of 8 years and counting of this relationship between the hero and the criminal. King said in a DC Connect interview number 5. But it is also the beginning of something. It's a standalone, which is much more ambitious than anything I tried in Batman. My attempt to tell one story that says everything I have to say about these characters and how they affect each other and us. So this is but the latest in a series of ambitious standalone 12-issue series that King has done for DC, following Omega Man, Mr. Miracle, and the current Strange Adventures. He and Batman Catwoman is dealing with romance, but also multiple timelines. For people who have read my Batman run, the basic premise here is when we have 3 timelines that take off the Batman annual title, the first and last kiss issue. We see Batman and Catwoman at the beginning of the relationship. After that first kiss, we see them now. We see the end, even after the last kiss. That allows for us to see her evolution, how Catwoman went from being a rogue to a partner, and what that transition cost her. So in the comics, the one thing we don't have a lot is growth. We're stuck in one story. In Batman Catwoman, we try to break that barrier and give you a history in a moment you haven't seen before. So it was also said James Tynion IV, who took over DC's Batman after King, previously told Newsarama that Batman Catwoman was sort of moving outside the bounds of continuity as far as I understand. So this is more like like continuing the continuity snarl that's going to be. So we're going to see how that goes, and I'm curious to know if it will have any impact. It probably depends on critical reception and selling. So interesting on that. So big route on that. Can't wait. I'm going to check it out. I think Tom King works best in a maxi series that doesn't affect the continuity as much, or it's a standalone that could be reverse engineered into the continuity and everything. But that's what I feel like, because a lot of his stories that were critical darlings is always like stories that stand on its own 2 feet and doesn't have all this baggage of continuity, or it's stories that take on its own that could be reverse engineered to affect the wider DC universe, which is one of the reasons I think Heroes in Crisis just doesn't work, because he has to work with a whole bunch of editors saying you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. This character has to say this character has to say that. Oh, you have to reference this, you have to reference that, you have to build up to this, you gotta give this short little moment here in order to make it fit in this other book we're gonna do later after the event. Yeah. So the Last Stand DLC is now available in stores. Hooray! Hurrah! And I am excited for it. For fans, I've been craving some more updates, and It's now available, but sadly, Valve confirmed earlier this year that Half Left 4 Dead 3 is not in development, so we'll have to stick with The Last Stand for now. But at least we're getting some new content, and it's not paying for it. So, as we start the whole, yeah, he played, so Superman, so Henry Cavill, he went from being the Man of Steel to the Witcher character, sorry, I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Now he's going to play his role as Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, we're really doing this. So like, okay, so the actor portrays the iconic detective in Netflix's Enola Holmes, I don't know, which centers on Millie Bobby Brown, the person who say you always wanted to be in one of these stuff. Henry Cavill has been getting the attention, and someone said, and I hope it was a joke, okay, I just watched the show, and I like to start religion based on Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. And it's freaking people out on Twitter because they're loving his look so far. So it looks like women are obsessed, and men would want to be him. So congratulations, Cavill, you've started a new cult. Baldur's Gate 3 has a multitude of romance option and party options. So yeah, Larian has just detailed some brand new details about Baldur's Gate 3 concerning both romance and companion mechanics. Larian has created reactive systems all throughout the journey of a relationship, from the time of meeting a companion to a potential romance with them. There are hundreds of permutations that define where a relationship heads, if anywhere at all. So it sounds like you'll have a lot of different dialogue options. For example, playing as a drowned wizard will give you a different dialogue option than playing a, I'm not pronouncing that, warlock. These differences will also be present in your relationship dialogues. Also revealing that pursuing a romance option where one character might have a negative impact on another character, your allies are going to be forming opinions about you based on your actions and your dialogue choices, as well as the factions that you choose to side with in Baldur's Gate 3. They also go into detail in the game's camp system. At the end of each day, you'll put your weapons aside and sail down to a camp with your party, which is where you chat with any grievances or issues you're having. And yes, they reassure people that yes, you can go and have sex with them. So it's going to launch early access on October 6th, so look forward to that. Baldur's Gate, classic RPG franchise. Let's see how that goes. Oh, man. Hello Games has learned the mistakes of the No Man's Sky controversial launch. I remember all those big promises they made in interviews. Well, Hello Games is saying, yeah, we're not talking about its next game because of what we did last time. So, this is what Miri told IGN. I mean, look, we have learned our lesson. We don't want to start talking about anything too early. The only reason we talked about all our next game was because we released our most recent game, Last Campfire, which was the first thing to come out since No Man's Sky. It's done by a separate team that we supported within the studio. When we talked to the press about it, a lot came at it from the angle of, oh, well, you did Joe Danger before, you've done No Man's Sky, and I guess you're doing Joe Danger size games again. We didn't want people to have that impression because it's not exactly true. Essentially, Miri felt the need to clarify that Hello Games' next project is not a huge, ambitious game like No Man's Sky, because the studio's most recent games have been smaller in scope, but other than that key piece of info, it sounds like we aren't going to hear much about this untitled game for a while. Probably for the best, after the debacle of No Man's Sky's launch and all the promises they made that took forever to finally be implemented. Yeah, that was probably for the best. Like, I played some of the No Man's Sky, trying to get into it more, but we'll see. But yeah, it just insane all around. Jim Lee said he would like to do a awesome Wonder Woman run today, adding new elements to her mythology. So, Jim Lee for 15 years has been the DC's de facto flagship artist, other than George Perez. But there are still several major characters he would love to draw for an arc or two, especially Wonder Woman. I think there's a couple of runs I would love to hypothetically do. First, Wonder Woman. Lee said in a video Q&A session that aired as part of the second DC Fandom on September 12th. I've done 2 runs on Superman, 2 on Batman, but I've never done a run on Wonder Woman. Lee has, of course, drawn Wonder Woman on several occasions, his run on Justice League, as well as numerous covers, and even revamping the character with Stan Lee for late writer's Just Imagine series. But what the artist is talking about today is a full-on run with the character. So I have a real fondness for the character that I love what John Bryan did on the character, and of course George Perez showed me how cool this mythology could be in today's world. His run on Wonder Woman in the '80s really set the bar. I'd have to partner up with a really awesome writer, and I would love to add new elements to her mythology. I think a Rogues Gallery could use some expansion. I would love to lean more into the Amazon's history and technology. There's a lot of cool stuff we could do. So, other concepts I would love to do is Earth 2's Justice Society of America and the Legion of Superheroes. I love the idea of teenage characters from the future that's super relevant to today. I love all the powers and how there's so many of them that you'll never get bored drawing them. And if Lee were to do one of these, he envisions a tight run similar to Batman's Hush. There's other projects, but it would be awesome to do 12 issues or even just 6 of any of these characters. It's really about finding the time and finding an awesome collaborator. Never say never. So he's working on top secret projects with open-ended deadlines. So yeah, so Jim Lee, awesome artist, would like to see his work. But some people did accuse him of ghostwriting, so to speak. His ghostwriting Justice League New 52, which I'm not sure if that was 100% accurate, but there were some people that thought that, and I totally get why they thought that, probably because this was the New 52, and some people were like, Justice League, Jeff Johns' early stuff, it felt weirdly off. So some people thought it was ghostwritten by Jim Lee sometimes, but we'll see. So, one of the female members of Retribution, because we needed to go ahead and shoot ourselves in the foot more, apparently the idea was nixed. WrestleVotes reported that at one point on Monday, the female members of Retribution, Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez, needed names for Raw because, that's not like they had names before. The idea was nixed, but one of the names that was going around was going to be Shatter. Really? They don't care. They just don't care. So there's some speculation regarding who this mysterious new foe, this new mystery person vignette that aired on NXT this week. Speculated names involve Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and Bobby Roode, amongst others. But the main name being speculated seems to be Bo Dallas, who is still a member of the SmackDown roster, was the third NXT champion in history, and held the title for 260 days. He has not wrestled since Crown Jewel 2019 on October 31st, when he incurs the actual loss of Tag Team Turmoil match to the New Day. So in a month and 6 days, he will have not wrestled for a year, unless you count taking bumps for making another person look intimidating. So. Yeah. Some person also published a tweet where they said they found some image that shows that it could be Samoa Joe based on a poster that involved an NXT takeover that had FTR, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and all that. I think it was Brooklyn. And I could be wrong, or someone else, but they did think it might be Samoa Joe. I would like to see Samoa Joe back, but at the same time, I don't know if he was injured when he had to go ahead and to do this whole angle, but we'll see. So, yeah, AEW is in the crisis with NXT. So, Fightful.com reports that COVID-19 has hit multiple wrestlers who appeared on early September AEW tapings. So, John Alba also collaborated with them with Spectrum Sports 360, saying, Son Ross Sampson and I are jointly reporting via multiple sources several individuals who present at AEW's tapings earlier this month have since tested positive, including talent seen on AEW Dark. Over the last few months, AEW has by far had the most extensive COVID-19 protocols amongst any wrestling company that chose to run during the pandemic. The conditions of how and where the virus was transmitted is not entirely clear at this time, hoping everyone affected is okay. Also saying, it's entirely plausible the talent were kept off this week's show for precautionary reasons and didn't necessarily test positive. But we can report that there were multiple positive cases in the past couple of weeks involving talent who were present at the tapings earlier this month. So, they haven't heard back from AEW at this time, but okay. So people we went ahead and referenced Taz's promo about we don't run a sloppy shop. So here's the thing. Some people were using that against him now because they're saying AEW is a sloppy shop and how they're getting infected. But like I was thinking to myself, I don't think the shot was meant because people got infected. It was because how the companies handled it. That was my problem with WWE and how they handled it. Because if WWE had 100% testings, did actual checks, not fever checks, like did extensive testing, did all of the precautions necessary during the early months of the outbreak, the damage would have been mitigated, but people would still be infected because it's a pandemic and they're still working in public. So it's probably going to happen. But AEW at least could say, we did everything we could. We did blood testing. We did all these extensive testings. We spent more money than anybody possible to protect our workers and protect people than when we did the 10% intake. So, yeah, AEW can at least say, we did all we could. But this wouldn't. But no, fans are trying to put fanatics of the WWE and other companies that hate them, that don't like AEW, were like pushing the idea that, oh, no, it's clearly AEW's fault, because I had this frustrating conversation. I try to be healthy with this dialogue, but the guy I was chatting with, I'm not going to mention his name whatsoever, but kept saying how Lance Archer was blaming his family instead of the company, because it's not like Lance Archer could get infected outside the company, right? It's virtually impossible, right? So, yeah, Wrestling Inc. also has learned that AEW had talents get tested from their home in addition to getting tested on site on Wednesday's taping. After Lance Archer apparently tested positive during the second round of testing, also the AEW consulted with NFL COVID response teams to come up with updates to their COVID testing process. This apparently came after the several positive COVID-19 tests that were reported, but also it was reported earlier this month about the COVID testing procedures implemented by WWE and AEW. AEW talent to go to an off-site facility in the morning of the tapings to have blood perk test taken. The test allows the talent to know within 10 minutes whether they are positive or not. If the test passes, they are given a wristband and taken to Daly's place. Talent cannot enter Daly's place without the wristband. So, yeah, AEW, yeah, so AEW has been doing these big, extensive testings and everything. I'm not sure the details. Apparently they changed it, and they were doing other stuff to do with it, and they're consulting with people, whereas WWE kept hiding it under wraps and were legitimately telling people to keep their mouths shut because they don't want to look bad. But, like, yeah. Benjamin Carter, who recently competed on AEW, has announced he had tested positive following his match airing. So Benjamin Carter wrote on Twitter, an update on my immediate future. I have tested positive for COVID-19. Man, you literally can't write it. After this Tuesday, I was on an all-time high, and to be honest, I kind of still am. The outpouring of support recently has been utterly mind-blowing, and I can't thank everyone enough. Having said that, I had some really cool things lined up in the coming weeks that now I have to back out of, all of which really stings. But hey, I feel fine. I guess I don't really taste my food as much as I normally do, but I feel fine for now anyways. So we'll have to see how Benjamin Carter handles this, because everyone was praising his work ethic in the match. I'll fully watch that match and make a video about it. But yeah, Benjamin Carter, yeah, sucks. He gets this big break, and then this happens. Sucks all around. So, the COVID-19 outbreak that happened in NXT has apparently also affected the main roster shows. So, after the restructuring of the creative plans for last night's show, for example, the tag team match featuring Danny Burch and Roderick Strong versus Raul Mendoza and Fabra and whatever is supposed to set up a match between the Undisputed Era against the team of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. However, it's very possible the match will now not happen. So, in addition to Fish, announces Vic Joseph and Wade Bear were absent from last night's show, although they could have been off for other reasons. Meltzer also stated that while the number of positive COVID cases are not as high as the previous outbreak when 38 members of the NXT staff reportedly contracted the virus. The number is not small either, while noting that the outbreak started after one of the NXT coaches tested positive. They also went on to mention that a lot of people backstage were either perhaps laxed and stopped taking precautions to shield themselves from the virus. He said that the outbreak also impacted the main roster and could alter creative plans this coming week on Raw and SmackDown. Earlier this week, noted that the outbreak may have led to a decent effect on the production's creative plans. Alba also reported that some people within NXT has ignored protocols such as wearing masks, especially in spots in the backstage area where people congregate. So everyone fucked up. Got it. Naomi recovering from unexpected surgery. So it was reported that revealed that she underwent a 6-hour surgery to remove her massive fibroid that's been causing her severe anemia, fatigue, and abdominal pains issues for the past year and a half. So, yeah, in the midst of Hurricane Sally and COVID, frown emoji, I underwent an unexpected 6-hour surgery to finally move a massive fibroid that's caused me severe fatigue, horrible abdominal pains, and malware problems I don't even want to mention over the past year and a half. I'm recovering well, I'm relieved, and I'm already feeling so much better, so family, friends, don't worry, I'm okay, I'll miss ya. I'm not going to pronounce that. So, yeah, she got the surgery, she's going to be gone for a while, sucks, but at least she's being healthy again. And it wasn't because of more deadly stuff. So, Amazon is developing a special spin-off TV series based on the hit show The Boys. That's part college show and part Hunger Games. So, apparently the spin-off, according to Variety, the spin-off is set at America's only college exclusivity for young adult superheroes, or Supes, that run by Vote International. As the trade puts it, it's described as a irrelevant R-rated series that explores the lives of hormonal competitive Supes as they put their physical, sexual, and moral boundaries to the test, competing for the best contracts in the best cities. Part college show, part Hunger Games, with all the heart, satire, and raunch. The Boys! The Boys, man! The Boys, Craig Rosenberg, will script the pilot, also serve as the spin-off showrunner and executive producer. The spin-off's behind-the-scenes personnel will also include other veterans of The Boys as executive producers, including series creator Eric Kripke, as well as Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, James Weaver, Neil H. Moritz, and Pavan Sethi. The second season finale of The Boys will debut on October 9th. So, yeah, we're getting a Hunger Game version of superheroes, so that would probably be interesting. So, Crunchyroll has announced their fall 2020 lineup. So, it was announced some notable new animes include Itsuranto Try Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 3, the longer-awaited Inuyasha sequel series, following the daughters of Inuyasha and Susumaru. The series debuts on October 3rd, which is called Princess Half Demon. I'm not going to pronounce the first name. Sports Iwawaka, Sports Climbing Girls, a sports anime focused on a group of young women competing in a world of rock climbing. Original lineups have experienced some solid success with The God of High School and Tower of God, continues with several new originals. Noblesse, based on the webtoon series of the same name. Noblesse tells the story of Cass, I'm not pronouncing that name, a caster who has awakened after 820 years of sleep, then joins a high school, expect plenty of battles fueled by superhuman abilities. Onyx, whatever the last name, a young Aztec boy who finds himself as humanity's champion during a battle between gods. Over the Moon for You, a new married life comedy from the creator of Hayate, the Combat Butler, and the new simulcast involve Burn the Witch from Bleach creator of this 3-episode movie series premieres on October 1st. The new Shonen series, I'm not pronouncing it. The synopsis for this one is a lot to digest, but the long and short of it is that it's a young high school student named Yuki joins an occult research club who accidentally unseals a dangerous talisman, setting off a chain of events in which Yuji becomes the host of a powerful curse and must consume all the curse's fingers while attending a magic school. If that doesn't scream shonen, I don't know what does, apparently. It says D4 DJ First Mix, a new series based on Bushi Road games with a dog and a cat. Every day is fun, a slice of life anime for those who felt like last year's My Room is a Cat gave too much credit to felines. So, big stuff all around, it seems. I was surprised they're actually making a show on Inuyasha. I didn't even know that was in development, so yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. So I'll have to check it out if I ever get the chance to. Amazon Fall Echo and Alexa devices event, all news announced. Amazon Echo. The Echo speaker has been a cylinder for the last 3 generations, but now it's growing to be more a sphere. The new larger spherical design allows the device to use a new larger speaker and even features premium adaptive sound. It also powered by an AZ1 neural edge processor that promises to be 20 times more powerful, more power efficient than the Echo Dot 3rd generation, and provide 2 times faster speech processing. The new Echo Dot will also feature Zigbee and Bluetooth Low Energy, and it's available now for $99. Amazon Echo Dot, alongside the new Echo, Amazon has made a smaller Echo Dot for that basically is the same thing, but just it's still a little bit like it. But it can come with a simple LED clock for $49 or without it for $39. There will also be a kids edition for $59 that features cute animals, including a tiger and panda designs at launch. Aero 6 and Aero Pro 6, Amazon a new pair of Wi-Fi mesh routers, as their model might suggest. They're ready to support Wi-Fi 6, plus Zigbee to connect to your smart home devices. The Aero 6 will retail for $129 and Pro 6 for $229. Ring car alarm, yeah. Ring has made a big splash in home security, and now it's coming to your car. The Ring car alarm is a small device plugged into your automobile's OBD2 port, and once connected, it adds intelligent sensors and a set of sirens to your car's built-in alarm. Additionally, it connects with an Amazon Sidewalk to help you locate your car in situations where you've forgotten where you parked it or it's been stolen. Retailing at $59. Ring car cam retailing for $199, and it's part of that surveillance thing. Ring Car Connect, $199. Ring Always Home Cam, $249. Amazon Echo Show, that looks like the Apple HomePod, which with a screen glued onto it. It's going to retail for $249. Amazon Fire Stick TV, so let's see, $29. A new version of it. Luna was the big announcement. Now we get to the biggest announcement of the show. Amazon's cloud gaming service. The service will serve as a direct competitor to Google Stadia, and it will work on PC, Mac, smartphone tablets, and Fire TV devices. And it will also work on a subscription basis to grant users access to a library of games similar to the Xbox Game Pass. Amazon's cloud gaming service launched with games such as Resident Evil 7, Control, A Plague Tale Innocence, and Yooka-Laylee. The Impossible Liar. Lunar Plus, the name of the game's streaming plan, offers up to 4K resolutions at 60 frames per second for select titles and allows subscribers to play on 2 separate devices at the same time. Amazon has also developed a Lunar controller that connects directly to your Wi-Fi in a similar way to the Google Stadia controller did to minimize input lag. According to Amazon, the Lunar controller's Cloud Direct technology helps reduce latency by 20 ms compared to playing it with a Bluetooth controller paired to a Fire Stick. Subscription pricing is set at $5.99 for early access users, though you have to pick up a Lunar controller for $49. Pretty interesting all around. I'm not probably going to get it. I'm just not interested. Also, coming on October 1st, Doom Eternal is coming to Xbox Game Pass, so look forward to that. Looking forward to the Eternal War of Doom. Witcher Season 2 update. Eskel actor drops out of role. Theo Rasman says he'll now get to watch the show as a fanboy instead of as a Witcher. He will be no longer portraying as Eskel in Season 2 of Netflix's The Witcher 2 due to scheduling conflict caused by the COVID virus. Damn you, COVID amendment! So, sadly, due to rescheduling because of COVID-19, I will not be portraying the character in The Witcher. It's heartbreaking, of course, but I mostly feel happy and grateful for the days I've got to spend on the set earlier this year. Everyone was extremely engaged and passionate about the project, and it was truly an inspiring experience. A heartfelt thank you to all the fans who wrote me lovely, encouraging messages. I wish everyone on the show the best of luck with the rest of the production, and I'm sure Season 2 will be absolutely amazing. Now I get to watch it as a fanboy instead of as a Witcher. So, tragic. Blame COVID. Shake your fist and yell it to the heavens above. So, Hideo Kojima, John Ferreira among Tribeca's Film Festival's new gaming advisory board. So, not only that, but also Bing Gordon, EA co-founder, Sam Lake, creative director of Control Studio Remedy Entertainment, Kiki Wolfkill, head of Halo Transmedia and Entertainment, Nia DaCosta, director of the upcoming Giant Man. The war will help shape Tribeca games going forward, and its formation comes on the 10th anniversary of TFF, first featuring games in the festival, with the inclusion of LA Noire as the first game to be designated as an official selection. So, yeah, the film festival in Tribeca Games, which operates within the yearly the film festival, has announced their expansion of its efforts and having this advisory board. Hideo Kojima is obviously the best option because Hideo wanted to be a movie guy and not a gamer, but then wanted to get into gaming. He was fit for creative works in Hollywood, but they were like, well, I want to do games. Really? Yes. So, and that led to his relationship with Capcom and with Konami, and look how that worked out at the end of all this. Microsoft's Flight Simulator will add a Japan World update set to go live on September 29th free of charge for all users, announced at the Tokyo Game Show. So, yeah, it's going to update enhanced coverage to Japan and everything else. 6 cities, I'm not going to pronounce them, will be recreated via high-resolution 3D photographic surveying. 6 airports will be upgraded with detailed models. Additional landing challenges around Japan will also be served as an added part of the free update, as well as a digital elevation map of the entire country. We invade Japan! And it's also part of the optimization process of the Xbox consoles. Neo Replicant version 1.2224744871139 coming west in April 2021. An upgraded version of the 2010 Japanese RPG will be released in North America and Europe on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam, and PC via Steam on April 23rd, 2021. So, oh my god, why did you call it this name? Taxingly titled Remastered will also saw a gameplay demo showing off combat and exploration in the game's updated world, and with a new cover art, and yeah. Oh man, oh god, why with the long name? Yeah, long name. Just insane all around. So Among Us, I have no idea what the hell this game is. I never played it. Apparently it's being popular again. And it led to its cancellation sequel and all the contents heading to the first one. So... yeah, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I kept hearing it trending, for God's sakes, and I was like, okay, how old is this game? I've never heard of it. Like, when I heard the Among Us, I was like, oh, so it's Wolf Among Us, or someone forgot to add the Wolf title into it, and it just led to it. Then I heard it was another game, and it came out 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden it's exploded in popularity, and I was like, what the heck happened? So, the Xbox Series S has been reduced priced in Japan, right? Possibly to compete with the PS5 Digital Edition. So, yeah, originally it was going to be on sale for $313 plus tax. This is in contrast to the Series X, which was announced for $474, much more in line with the US price. The Series S is now set to $284, which is closer to the $299 price. But no reason was given, but apparently the PS5's disc and digital editions were priced at $474 and $379 respectively, plus tax. So it's part of Microsoft trying to push for Xbox to dominate in Japan, because it's always had a rough history there. But yeah, lucky Japan. Nicolas Cage was up for this classic Simpsons character. Hank Azaria ended up voicing this infamous peripheral character, so I'm trying to figure out... oh, it was Homer's enemy, Frank Grimes, the man who was everything that Homer wasn't. Grimes was intelligent and ambitious, yet he could never seem to catch a break in life. And, yeah. So, the whole... yeah, I don't watch The Simpsons that much, and, yeah, Frank Grimes, he was supposed to be played by Nicolas Cage, apparently. He was up for it, and... it'd be interesting to see how that voice would have been. And oh, my name is Homer Simpson! And everything. Okay. The Sims 4 will add more skin tones and hair options on October 6th for PC and consoles for November 10th. So it's an update, big update and whatnot. So I don't really care. I don't play The Sims that much anymore. But it looks like Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut is filming new Justice League scenes in October. So THR reports that stars Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and Ray Fisher are all participating in some of these reshoots, with production lasting only a week. It's unlikely these reshoots will dramatically alter the plot or structure of the Snyder's version of Justice League. Rather, it's more likely these shots will be used to flesh out existing scenes, add new lines of dialogue, and help transform Snyder's movie into a 4-part limited series. As THR points out, Fisher's involvement is somewhat surprising given the current tensions between the actor and Warner Brothers Media. Fisher made headlines in June after angrily retracting statements he made during promotion of Justice League in 2017 and accusing Snyder's replacement of Joss Whedon of creating a hostile and abusive environment on set. Who's also been getting Jason Momoa helping out, so that probably pissed everyone off. But the thing that I did hear about the Snyder Cut, and if I'm correct, I heard this from Phil Brain and Matthew Buck, everyone on Twitter, where, oh god, what have I told you, that this movie that was set to only get a $20 million to fix everything, it's getting reportedly $70 million worth of an entire movie. And this director's cut is going to have reported budget for his vision is $70 million extra. The budget is sure to cover the cost of the reshoots as well as additional VFX work that needs to be done. Initial reporting said that no additional filming would occur, but that has changed with the announcement of this budget. So, yeah, originally estimates to put the budget around $30 million, $20 or $30 million bucks. However, it most likely isn't cheap to bring together, all the actors, especially in the pandemic, making the 70 more a logical number. So, although the details around the reshoots are scarce, save for that they are most likely happening in early October, the operation is sure to be a complicated undertaking. Warner Bros. Is taking the utmost precautions when it comes to filming in the middle of the coronavirus. This news goes to show that Warner Bros. And cast dedication to Snyder's vision. Several cast members advocated for his release, yada yada yada, and all that. But fans are excited. Fans are excited. Oh, when Black Widow 2 got delayed officially, so. Yeah, no Marvel movies for the first time, in over since 2009, I think. Oh, nearly a decade, everyone. Oh man, but yeah, big news for the Snyder Cut, having a $70 million extra budget put it. So, I'm still curious and interesting of this. I want to see this. I want to check this out. I want to see the Henry. I want to see all this. I want to see what Zack Snyder's original vision was for this, and I really can't wait to see this epic 4-hour length limited series that will probably reach a theatrical release if the demand is that big, and especially if people want to sit down to watch a 4-hour movie. Oh man, that's just insane. It's just insane. This is a director's cut, and yet it's getting additional stuff to be put in, and it's going to cost $70 million, worth an entire 2-hour movie. But it's for a 4-hour movie. Man, this is an exciting time. I'm curious to know what the creative changes that would cause for the Hollywood industry, to see if fan demand is big enough they can make director's cuts and extended cuts of the director's original vision. And with the streaming industry, at war with each other, it could lead to more shows and movies and TV and whatnot to get their desired vision more so than ever, that basically transform the movie into a completely different beast entirely. So, yeah, can't wait for the Snyder Cut, everybody. That's about it for all the big news I had for today and from late yesterday. This was Neo Reality Collective. See you all again tomorrow. Neo Reality Entertainment here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. See you for more, and always, peace out.